Oh, good morning, everybody. Technically, it's still kind of evening for me. I took a nap, and then I woke up again. Had to help out, look at the patch notes, things like that. But yeah, patch notes are out, so I'm looking forward to going into them. Dude, Bernice looks sick. Like, I've had the chance to see him in game. He looks sick. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be starting up the patch notes discussion in just a few seconds. I'm just going to give people time, a little bit more time to filter in. We can get right into things. Can't wait to die by Grace in 2 games now. I mean, I think it's pretty different, but yeah, he has a shotgun, so I guess it's a little similar, right? Okay, I think it's been long enough. Here we are, we do have the patch notes for patch 0.28.0. This is the Bernice patch, so Bernice is now out. Well, at least he will be once the patch hits sometime tonight. Bernice is a ranged character. He uses sniper like as his main weapon, but he also kind of has a unique property where his attacks are like shorter range, right? Like he has a shotgun as his main weapon, even though he uses snipers for stats. So it's kind of interesting. But let's get right into his actual numbers. Bernice, the Stolen Huntsman, brings his own traps and his trusty shotgun to Lumia Island to take out any beast in his way. For the first week, he will cost 9,900 Acorn, the increased price that we've been seeing for all new characters. And let me turn down my music just a little bit. This is pretty standard. This is what they do for all new characters. I don't need to go over this every time the new character comes out because it's fine. Buckshot, his passive. Bernice's normal attacks fire 2/3/4 bullets, fixing his base range to 4 meters and dealing plus, and then it's a ratio of 70, 80, or 90% attack power, all the way up to 91, 120, and 144 damage, or percent damage, depending on the number of bullets that hit the enemies. So if you do end up shotgunning somebody, it will increase the damage dealt to them. It is actually kind of relevant. Honestly, it's kind of sick to me. Like, the idea that there's a character whose auto attacks are a shotgun spread and they like do more damage if they hit multiple pellets on the same target is honestly sick. Like, I think it's really cool. He can reload faster depending on his level of his passive. The reload time goes from 1.8 to 1.3 down to 0.8. Leg shot, his Q. Bernice fires an expanded projectile from his gun, dealing 70 / all the way up to 230 with a 70% ratio, which is actually really high damage to enemies hit. Enemies are slowed by 10 up to 30% for 3 seconds. Rooted enemies take an extra 100 up to 260 with a 70% attack power ratio and are slowed by, I think this is a mistake. I think they're gonna be fixing that, so ignore that. They're just slowed by a certain amount. The cooldown is 7 seconds down to 5 seconds at max rank, and the SP cost is 60 up to 100. The attack range is actually really long. This is one thing you should probably take away from this. The attack range is 11 meters. I know you've seen it in the sort of like animation that they showed as a preview, but you gotta know the attack range is even longer than it like kind of was leading you to believe. 11 range on this is fucking massive. Excuse my language. It's really long. Like, he's a sniper character and this is his longest attack. It's actually really, really long. Foothold Trap is W. Bernice, oh, for reference though, by the way, I'm pretty sure on release Luke's Q was either 11 or 10 meters. And remember how long that was? Everyone was like, what the heck? That projectile is so insanely long. That's what this is. It's really, really long. Foothold Trap is W. Bernice sets a trap on the ground for 20 up to 40 seconds, dealing 20 up to 60 with 10% attack power ratio damage for 3 seconds to enemies that step on them. And rooting them for 1.5 seconds. He can hold 3 up to 5 traps, like trap charges, and he can set 2 to 4 traps depending on his level, like at a time. The recharge time is 24 down to 12 seconds, and the SP cost is 30 up to 50. This skill is interesting. The thing about this skill is I'm just saying this, I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know if it's true or not. I feel like if the trap stealths, this is gonna be pretty good. But if it doesn't stealth, I don't know for sure. So I'm just sort of speculating right now. It doesn't expire. Yeah, I don't see an expiration time on it. I don't know if it does expire. If they do stealth, this skill, in my opinion, will be really good. If it doesn't stealth, it's pretty bad. So I don't know. I would have to see it. It says it right there, it expires. Wait, where? Oh, for 40 seconds. Yeah, it does expire. That's the first thing. There were so many lines of text I actually kind of forgot. Yeah, 20 up to 40 seconds. So it does expire. Falconry, the E, passive. Bernice marks enemies that step on a foothold trap for 4 seconds, granting him vision and increasing his movement speed by 10 up to 30% when moving towards the marked target. Bernice's normal attacks on the marked target reduce the cooldowns of leg shot by 0.5 seconds and explosive bola by 1 up to 2 seconds. The active Bernice Falcon hovers in the air, increasing his vision by 3 up to 4 seconds, or sorry, 3 up to 4 range for 8 seconds. Every 6 seconds, the Falcon marks a nearby enemy for 4 seconds. So, let's unpack this. When someone gets hit by his W, it marks them with his E's mark and makes it so that he chases them like more efficiently. And also like reduce a bunch of his cooldowns when he hits them or something like that. I wonder what the mark does. Like, does it do amp damage? I don't think it hurts them. No, it's just a mark. It's just increasing your movement speed when you're running towards them. It's also just reducing cooldowns when you hit them with certain things. It's mainly just, mainly just passive, extra passive stuff. Explosive bola, his R. Bernice fires a bola bomb in the target direction, dealing 150 up to 250 flat damage at max rank, and the attack power ratio is 50%. Damage to the first enemy hit and rooting them for 1.5 seconds. After a few seconds, it explodes, dealing 100 up to 200 damage with a 70% ratio to the rooted enemy and spreading to the nearest enemy within a 3-meter range in a chain. Cooldown is 140 down to 100. The SP cost is 120 up to 180. The attack range, 12 freaking meters. Holy cow, that is long range. The ratio is, wait, that's the radius, or whatever, is 0.7 meters, and the width is 1.4 meters. Man, that is incredibly long range on that. Honestly, like, I had seen this in testing. I did not think it was that long range. That is very, very long range. That's longer than his Q. That is super long range. Okay, so basically to wrap up on Bernice, some people have mentioned it in chat and I agree with them. This character has no escape tools, literally no movement skills outside of, you could kind of say, his E when he's running towards a marked target. Other than that, there's basically nothing. Hey, what's up, man? So yeah, basically nothing in terms of escapes. You have to be just sort of stat checking whoever you're fighting and winning on traps. Maybe just using the fact that you do have that root on your R also to lock someone in place for 1.5 seconds. That might be like that combined with a trap really might be your only way of getting people away, because remember the root on the trap is also 1.5 seconds. So if you are them and then get them in a trap, that's a whole 3 seconds of root. That's your best way of escaping people. So yeah, that seems pretty good. Remember, 1.5 seconds on that W, it's pretty relevant, and it's at all ranks too. You don't have to rank that up to get that longer root. Anyway, new skins. We have the Street Fiend Hyunwoo skin. They released a video for that recently. The skin looks pretty sick. System, Meteorite Impact. Aglaia has succeeded in the research of artificially created meteorites. Lumia Island will now be impacted with collectible meteorites in various locations throughout the map. Those locations, by the way, are school, temple, alley, pond, and factory. So something to think about is these locations are not on the sort of southwest side of the map where currently the Tree of Life zones are, because remember, Tree of Life is in hotel, Tree of Life is in forest, Tree of Life is in cemetery. Those are all sort of on the southwest side of the map, like southwest to northwest side of the map. Most of these zones where the meteorites are sort of on the like top right side, right? So it's sort of dividing the map almost in the middle of, like, one side is sort of a Tree of Life contested area and one side is more of a meteorite contested area. So the first meteorite drops on the first night, 4 minutes and 40 seconds after the game starts, every 4 minutes after that for a total of 3 meteorites. So very similar to Tree of Life. Excuse me. Meteorites will fall randomly in these 5 selected areas. I already mentioned that. There will be a notice of where it will be dropped 1 minute before its impact. So it will be randomized. Kind of interesting. Falling meteorites cause 1,000 true damage. Try not to stand under it. So this is like never going to come up. But I'm looking forward to, like, I want to see the clips of someone killing somebody because they like baited them into standing under a meteorite. I don't know what's wrong with my voice right now. Hold on. There's something like caught in my throat. Yo, Stevie, thank you for the tier 3. Holy cow, dude. 8 months, my man. What's up, man? How you doing? How you been? You can now collect meteorites from their impact zone. Meteorite and moonstone drop chance from wild animals and air supplies will now be lower. Let Lennox play into meteor. Yeah, dude, Lennox like pull into meteor would be sick. Link for the patch notes. Here you go. In-game notice revamp. Less clutter, more info. Hold on, I had to cough real quick. Let's clutter, more info. There are a lot of notices in game now. With the appearance of meteorites, we need to reorganize our announcement system. The following notices will now appear on the left side of the screen. There, you can read it right there. A lot of stuff. Your recorded kills will now be notified separately with the new UI. I have seen this. This looks sick. Link doesn't work for you. Just go to the main website. There's a patch notes section. Check it out there. It's been 8 months, dude. It doesn't feel like 8 months. Honestly, I'm surprised it's been 8 months already. Like, that's sick. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Okay. Your recorded kills will now be notified separately with the new UI. This is sick. Honestly, like, I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing this in game. This, if you thought that the like new notifications and pop-ups for like Tree of Life looked sick, it's kind of like that, but even better. I think you're really gonna like it. Quickcast Indicator. Yes, it's finally here. People have been asking for this for a long time, and it's finally in the game. You can now enable Quickcast Indicators in the settings. You can hold the key to see the indicator of the skill, let go to use the skill in the direction indicated. Spawn point and loot point improvements. Part 3. The sequel to the sequel. 1 new box added to Alley, Hotel, Archery Range, Temple, School, and Hospital. And 1 spawn point added to Alley and 2 to School. We're making a 4th improvement over the coming weeks, including the locations of boxes in some areas like hotels. That's not going to be in this patch, but just some other stuff. Damn. Pretty sick. Pretty sick, man. So check the area below for more details. Wait, what? Check area. Oh, it's gonna be like in the area section or something. I don't know. Save plan, system improvements, skill order, and text description. You can now, okay, just save plan stuff. I don't want to go over save plan stuff. It just sort of is what it is, you know. Save plan changes. It's mostly just improvements. Results screen. Improvements have been made to the death and results screen. Oh, wait, this is in this patch? Woo, shit. Ooh, shit. This is sick. Yes, if you've seen the preview, it's that. It's also like, I don't know if did they show the death one on the preview? I can't remember. I know they showed the like victory screen, which was sick, but did they show the death one? Because I've seen both, but I can't remember which one they showed. They did show the death? Okay, dude, they both look sick. I am so excited. One of my biggest like kind of complaints about just the way the game looked and felt for a long time was the fact that when you died and when you won, the screen was so boring. I want to check the preview just so I can see it again. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Here, I'll show it on stream. Hold on, can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay, here, let me go back to the beginning. Looks like this. It's kind of cut off at the bottom, but you get the idea. It looks sick. Love it. Absolutely love it. Also, Sua looking really cute right there. Absolutely love it. Like, this is sick. One of my biggest complaints has been that the game, when you won, it felt so underwhelming. It was just like, your character was like running in place. It would just fade to a screen that said like, you did it, I guess. Who's that in the middle? Sua, she's not out yet. But yeah, it was just sort of like, Like, it was so lame. And like when you died, it was just like, you're dead, I guess. Like, who cared? It was so underwhelming. But now there's that sick animation. Now you're gonna have one for deaths as well, which looks dope. I cannot wait to see it. You guys will love it. Wick-align adjustments. Wick, her health and defense has been increased in duo and squad. Thank fucking God. Holy, sorry, I cannot swear. Thank you freaking God for increasing the health of Wick for duo and squads. 20% more HP for duo, 20% more defense for duo, 50% more HP for squad, and 20% more defense for squad. Love it. My biggest complaint recently with duos and squads, well, not my biggest complaint, but a big complaint of mine, was that Wick would just spawn and instantly get nuked. She was not a threat. She would just die immediately. And the fact that they took so long to buff it was frustrating to me, but now they're finally getting to it. So she's been buffed in duos and squads. Thank you. Character changes. Razi. Making Razi a little bit smoother to play. Gun Vault, the second activation cast time has been decreased from 0.27 down to 0.2, and Semtax Bomb, the projectile speed to max distance has been so it gets to your max distance faster, so it doesn't feel so limp, because honestly it kind of did. And the cooldown reduction from early explosion has been increased. I'm just going to keep this one short. I don't support Razi buffs. I support quality of life buffs, and that's why I like this. I think this change is fantastic because her R felt awful to use. That being said, I don't think she really needs more cooldown reduction because it's already on like not a cooldown, and I don't think her well, I mean, this might just like be lumped under quality life, so maybe it's fine. Razi, apparently the Korean server doesn't think Razi is good. Like, I'm not just saying that as like a speculation. Apparently they really don't think Razi is good, which is kind of bizarre to me because I think most people on the NA server believe Razi is a very good character. And honestly, I agree. I think she is a good character. I don't know if she needs a lot of buffs, but I don't think these buffs are too significant, so I don't really care. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I think if anyone's like really complaining about this too much, it's just not that big of a deal. It's not that significant of a buff. Lee Dai-Lin. Lee Dai-Lin's adjustment from the last patch has made her a bit stronger. We're adjusting accordingly. Nunchuck is taking a little bit more damage in duos and squads, and the base defense is being lowered by 2. HP per level also being reduced by 2. Magnus changes. I personally would like to see some solo Magnus buffs because I've been playing him recently, and he is very underwhelming in solos. But yeah. Just looking at the AirCL, she really couldn't do much. Artemis, the Razi, there was like one group in the semis that had Razis, and that was the only group. Like all the Razis just happened to get seeded into the same group, and they all cannibalized each other's builds and ended up falling over because of it. Like, I agree, when you put 3 Razis on the same route and they all try to take each other's items, they're not going to do very well. Like, I don't think Razi is bad at all, and I don't think you should be using the AirCL as an indicator for like how strong she is, because they actually just like fucked each other over super hard. Razi is very good, trust me. She has literally the worst average rank in the game. Yeah, your call. Magnus, Bike from Hell, cooldown reduction on hit, 35 seconds up to 40 seconds, so it's a little bit less punishing. Makes you able to like ult more often. Shukai changes. Shukai is going to be dealing more damage. More damage in duos and squads by 2% on both of them for dagger, and 2%, this is across the board, 2% increased. We love to see some Shukai buffs, right guys? Right? Alright? Anyway, Shuichi changes. Shuichi needs a little help in the early game. Maybe put an extra point into risky business. Attack power per level 2.9 up to 3.1, and risky business, the slow, is going from 10 up to 20 at rank 1, but it's the same at rank 5. So tiny little Shoichi buff. Kind of interesting. Honestly, like Shoichi and Shukai are not 2 characters that I really think need buffs right now. Maybe they have some data on Shukai not doing enough damage in team modes. I personally haven't been playing a ton of team modes right now because they just now are putting like ranked back into place for duos and for squads. So these are not, well, I mean, not necessarily for squads, but for duos. And like, that's why, like, I can't say for sure what Shukai's power level in team modes is at the moment. I know Shukai previously was very oppressive in team modes, so I'm kind of surprised to see him getting buffed back up again, but hey, whatever, man. Like, if they know something we don't, then it is what it is. My opinion, though, Shukai is quite strong at the moment. Doesn't really need too much. Sicela. Some changes with Sicela. The Q cast time is being decreased from 0.2 seconds down to 0.12. I don't know how significant that's actually going to be. Is it like the time it takes for you to start moving Wilson, or is it the time it takes for Wilson to fly? I think it's the first one. I think it's the time it takes for Wilson to start moving. But the E cast time has been increased, so you can use the. You can't use this as reflexively or something. So it's not really a Sylvia buff. It's a Sylvia change, or not Sylvia. Sorry, it's not really a Sicela buff. It's a Sicela change. Her Q is a little more responsive, but her E is not. And her E is generally already really hard to hit because it's so thin and slow and shit, so it's going to make it even harder to hit that E, which is basically her most important skill. So it's not really a Sicela buff or a nerf, it's just a Sicela like shift of power. Sylvia. In the mid game, Sylvia was often able to chase her enemies down by switching from human to bike form and back too often, leaving no room for her enemies to answer. I actually fully agree. I do fully agree. That was actually very frustrating in the early mid game. Finish line, her W. So okay, in bike mode, the airborne duration is what? Does that mean she's airborne for longer, or they're airborne for longer? It's a revert of the bike W nerf. Ah, I see. So the knockup is longer, I'm assuming, is what this is saying, and the attack range is longer. Ish. Yeah, finish line is the name of her human mode W. That's why I'm confused as to which one this actually is. Yeah, there's a little few changes on Lead Island. Spare tire, her E. The cooldown is going from basically rank 1 is a shorter cooldown, but rank 5 is the same. Rank 1 going from 17 down to 13 seconds. Shift gears, her R. The base movement speed increase at early ranks is actually being increased, so she's going to be a little bit faster at early ranks, but it's the same at max rank. And slightly faster at the mid rank. Human to bike cooldown though is going from, instead of 2 seconds at all ranks, it is instead shifting to 20 seconds at rank 1, 11 seconds at rank 2, and then it's the same 2 seconds at rank 3. So basically you can't just be like going bike human, bike human, bike human at rank 1. You actually have to meet that higher rank in order to have that happen. Honestly, I agree with this change. I fully support this change, because the thing that was really frustrating about Sylvia's gameplay like lines was the fact that she just sort of, how many times have you guys like ran into a Sylvia in sort of like the early mid game and she obviously has items up on you and you're just like, yep, I'm dead. Like literally no way you can ever get away, because she is guaranteed 1000% of the time to make sure she gets on top of you. Like, that is just a very frustrating line of play, and it's not good for the game to exist in the game. So it needed to be changed, and it's fine for it to be lower in max rank, because that's when those combos are more balanced. Like, her damage in the late game, being able to swap between bike and not bike is fine to me. It's just the early game where it really felt unfair, so this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Adriana changes. Adriana had some vulnerabilities in her early game, so we're helping her early fire escapes. Throw. Damage dealt in duo mode is being decreased by 3%, which I think is a very valid change. Fire escape, her E. The cooldown at early ranks going down by 2 seconds from 22 down to 20, but at max rank it's the same, so she's a little bit safer in the early game. Adela. Crit builds and skill amp builds need some slight evening out. More rewards for landing the more difficult skill shots. A little bit of an improvement for the later game Adela. But reining in her mobility. Okay. I got it. I got you. Basically, there's a lot of changes here. Rapier. Just general changes. Her damage dealt in squad mode is being increased by 3%. Attack speed is going from 0.22 down to Is her base attack speed is going from 0.22 down to 0.045. Total attack speed is fixed at 0.66. What? Okay. I'm gonna do my best to interpret this, but don't take it as a don't take it as an actual truth, because I don't know what the hell this means. My assumption is her attack speed is going to be fixed at 0.66 no matter what. However, her attack speed per level is still going to be increasing, but then getting converted into her attack power or something, because that's how her kit works, right? Her attack speed gets converted into attack power. So my assumption is that no, I give up. I got nothing. Fuck it. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. Attack power per level is going from 3.4 down to 3.0. Control the center. Her P. Her passive. That's weird. I should not call it that in the future. Movement speed is going from it's going down from 10/13/16 down to 4/8/12. So it's a nerf across the board. Her crit strike chance increase is going. So you used to get a flat amount of crit strike chance on her passive, and it's going down from 4 to 12 down to 2 to 10. The attack power per 0.1 attack speed, though, is being increased at max rank. It's the same at the first rank, but it's being increased at max rank from 0.6 up to 0.7, so you're going to get a little bit more attack power per attack speed stat. The promotion, her Q. Wait, so this is just nerfs to her passive across the board. For the most part, you do have a little bit of an increase on the attack power ratio, but it's about a nerf across the board. Promotion, her Q, the SP cost is going up at all ranks by a flat 10. The damage dealt with the pawn is going to be getting increased by a 10% attack power ratio. The damage dealt with the queen is getting a increased attack power ratio by 30%, but the flat is the same. So yeah, it's so far it's been, yeah, like you just said, Artemis, it's been a nerf to crit, but a buff to amp just slightly. Night fork. Right, so her W. The cooldown is going to be increased at earlier ranks from 16 up to 18, but decreased at max rank from 12 down to 10. The bounce from other pieces distance is going from 4.5 meters down to 4 meters, and the damage when hitting other pieces is going from 50% up to 55%. Castling. Her recasting range is going down from 11 meters to 10 meters. The cooldown is going to be increased at max rank only. Well, it's the same at rank 1, but it's being increased at max rank from 12 seconds up to 16, and damage when hitting other pieces is being very slightly increased. So overall, if I have to interpret these changes, I really see this as an overall nerf. I really see this as an overall nerf. I see very, very, very slight buffs to the skill damage. We're just seeing it mainly in the queen's ratio, which doesn't really matter that much. I don't hit people with the queen all that often. I'm also seeing just very slight increases to the damage when hitting other pieces by only 5%. I see this as nerfs across the board, and to me, Adela is not even doing that well at the moment, so this is sort of... It's pretty disheartening to Adela players, because I don't think she's that fantastic at the moment, but maybe I'm wrong and she's actually performing well. Who knows? I don't really like her just being an auto attack character. I like her as a caster, and her caster abilities are pretty underwhelming, so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they I have full confidence that they will fix it if it ends up truly being underwhelming. Aya is showing lower indicators than with most weapons, especially Sniper. We're going to beef that up along with her early game strength. Sniper, additional attack range. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was a while ago. They actually nerfed the attack range of Aya on Sniper, or really just the attack range of Sniper in general. They're reverting some of that. They got nerfed significantly over time for some, I mean, I understand why. It was pretty obnoxious how long the range on Sniper was, but they're going to be buffing it just a little bit more, going from 7.1 up to 7.6. Aya's Justice for passive, the duration is being increased from 1 second up to 1.5. Doesn't matter that much, because I gotta say, man, this thing got like used up anyways. Like in like one skill generally. Shield changes. Shield is being buffed at early ranks, and that's about it. Emma changes. Less attack power per level. That's it. Yuki. No longer does a Trinkle Blade try to deal true damage to cameras. His attack power is being decreased. His flat attack power is being decreased. His base attack power is being decreased. Perfect Fit. His passive no longer consumes cufflinks when hitting cameras / traps. That's a good change. Button Up. His W. Okay, so I would love to see this change also applied to charge weapons. I really wish they would do that. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. It just would make the most sense. Button up is W. The cooldown is being decreased. Wait, no. The cooldown reduction of his E is being decreased by 0.5 at all ranks. So he can't just EWE as easily. And yeah, the cooldown of his E in general is being increased by 1 second across the board. So nerfs to Yuki across the board. I'm not going to complain. I'm sure Hoko will, but I'm not going to complain. Zahir. It's hard to hit his ultimate multiple times, and it's not very rewarding. I would fully agree with that. His throw damage in duo mode and squad mode is being decreased by 2% for both Bhargavastra, his R. The initial damage is going... Wait. Hold on. Wait, what? Okay, so they're nerfing the initial damage on his R, but each follow-up attack does 10 flat more damage. No, wait. Hold on. So they're nerfing his R by a flat 10 damage at all ranks. The ratio is not changing, but for each follow-up hit, the rank 1 damage is being increased by 10 flat, but it's the same at rank 3. The ratio is also being increased by 15%, going from 50% up to 65%. I don't think you're going to see much difference here. I wouldn't even read too much into that. Kathy does pretty well in lower tiers based on her early kill pressure, but struggles at higher tiers where people tend to avoid this and pick fights more carefully. Suture. Multiple target stun is being increased in duration from 1 second up to 1.3. That's huge, man. It's pretty big. 1.3 second stun is a long time, especially on Kathy. She already has pretty decent chase. Defense per level is being increased by from 1.7 up to 2.0. Kiara sometimes ends up like a raid boss at the end of the game in higher tiers. We're also making her Q a little bit smoother. Defense per level is being decreased. I appreciate this change. And her Q, the cast time when charged is being decreased by over half. The attack range when charged is being decreased by 2 meters, which I'm also a big fan of because that thing is so freaking long. And the projectile speed when charged is being increased, so it flies out a little bit faster. Okay, good change. Fiora. Guard is already gated by SP, so Guard no longer really has that long of a cooldown. I always thought this was bizarre, and I like this change. Heart changes. Peacemaker. She is healing less by 10 flat healing per rank. The ratio is not changing. That is a big nerf to Heart. Ooh, okay. We're seeing some pretty big nerfs to Heart, and honestly, I'm okay with it. One of the biggest problematic points of Heart's kit was her fight reset was so potent. She could just sort of take a fight that seemed fair, and then suddenly she was back to full HP and you weren't. So yeah, I'm okay with this change. Hyunwoo. Glove Hyun is in a pretty good place. We're hoping to get Tonfa Hyun there as well. Funny enough, I think Tonfa Hyun's in pretty good shape, but yeah, we'll see. They have some different plans. Tonfa increased attack range going from 1.45 meters up to 1.6. First attack is being changed, more flat cooldown across the board, but there is a 20% cooldown reduction when hitting enemies. So this is to hurt this is to hit like rat Hyuns. Yeah. So basically the idea is if you're just using your E to like move away or like not hit a target, it's gonna have a longer cooldown by a decent amount. 4 seconds at rank 1 and 2 seconds at rank 5. But if you hit somebody, it's back to being like what it was before. Dude, yeah, AO Tonfa's. Hedgen changes, she's getting 15 flat max HP. That's it. That's it for character changes. Weapon changes. Glove. 1-inch punch, a little bit less defense, a little bit more lifesteal. Divine Fist, more movement speed penalty, and a little bit more attack power. Buddha Palm, a little bit more attack power. White Claw Punch, a little bit more attack power. Imperial Silk Gloves, a little bit more movement speed. Interesting. Guitar changes. Wonderful Tonight. Attack power going from 100 down to 92. Yeah, I don't know if I like the Imperial Silk Glove buff. I think those things are pretty good already, personally. Dagger changes. There is a new dagger in the game. You're clipping it? What? Was it that bad? Was it that bad? Anyway, Scalpel. Fountain Pen plus Razor, 18 attack power. Swiss Army Knife. This is the blue. Scalpel plus Scissors, 23 attack power. And yeah, okay. 100 max HP. And the purple one is Damascus Steel Thorn, Swiss Army Knife plus Spike Plank. The has 63 attack power, 250 max HP, and a 40% healing reduc. Pretty decent stuff. So this is a new dagger. It's opening up some new build paths as well. As I've done the numbers, and I do not think this is a not a two-zoner. I don't think you can two-zone this in any way. You get the blue though in one zone. Swiss Army Knife can be made entirely within school, so it's pretty interesting. Yeah, overall, it's just sort of interesting. I don't think it's gonna be that game-changing, but a 23 attack power blue dagger with 100 max HP could become a griefer weapon. I'm not sure. Hang on, let me check in game real quick. I want to compare the other attack power on the other daggers. Rose Knife is 20 attack power. Army Knife is 14, so it's higher than Rose Knife in attack power. It's up at 23. It's pretty decent. And you can build it pretty fast. Like, I could see this griefing people, but I don't see Damascus Steel Thorn being that significant since it's a 3-zone weapon and its stats aren't that amazing. But 63 attack power. Let me talk about that. That is the highest attack power of any dagger that is not Fragarax, so it's something, right? It's something. Don't sleep on it, but also don't overhype it. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't think it's gonna be broken, but 250 HP plus 63 attack power, it could be pretty good. Plus the healing reduc. Axe, light hatchet, little bit less movement speed, which I appreciate. VMAX, a little bit less vision. Parashu, a little bit less movement speed. Harp, a little bit less movement speed. XCR, assault rifle changes. XCR, less HP, 350 down to 330. Rapier changes. Apricot sword, going from 8%. Okay, this one and Voltocleto going down 2% on CDR. Meteor Claymore, less attack power, 75 down to 67, but 2% more crit chance, 2% more CDR. So is that a buff to Meteor Claymore? Hard to say. It's more like a power shift. Hard to say for sure if it's actually a buff or not. Hammer changes. Evening Star, attack power 145 up to, or sorry, down to 135. Big nerf to Evening Star. And Magic Stick, the attack power is going from 60 down to 55, but it's gaining 0.5 vision range. So a pretty insignificant buff to compensate. That's going to be it for Hammer. Dual Swords, Loigor and Zar, 5% more attack speed. Starsteel Twin Swords, 10% less attack speed. Nunchuck, Smiting Dragon is going from 20 flat amp down to 16. I'm a big fan of this nerf because I really hate this weapon. I hate amp Nunchuck. It's one of my least favorite weapon like playstyles in the entire game. I think amp Nunchuck Dylan is not healthy for the game, and I wish it wouldn't exist. So I'm fine that this is getting nerfed. Spear changes. Cosmic Biden, going from 150 attack power down to 138. Pretty significant nerf. Vibro Nunchucks on the same path and just have more stats now. I don't think it has more stats. 16 flat amp is a significant number. You can't really sleep on that, right? Like, that is a lot of amp. Flat amp is a very powerful stat, and still 16 is pretty decent. Like, you can't sleep on that number. Let's see here. Tonfa, extra normal attack damage per weapon mastery level, going from 3.8% down to, or up to 4.1%. What? Dude, they keep buffing Tonfa, man. They keep buffing Tonfa. I'm not even saying that's a bad thing, but like, my God. Tonfa. I'm so sick of all the Tonfa buffs. Can we stop buffing Tonfa? It's already really good. Oh, whatever. Throw changes. High explosive grenade. The recharge time is being increased. Grenade of Antioch, the recharge time is being increased. This has been seeing a lot of play in Korea lately. No one plays it in NA. The attack power is going down on Antioch from 80 down to 77. Wait, yeah, okay. Ruthenium Marble also losing 4 attack power. Okay, Sasala complainers, here's your nerf. All right, armor changes. Chest, mithril armor. Defense from 65 down to 62. Blazing Dress. SP regen going from 3 down to 2 on the SP regen, and also attack power going up from 10 to 16. Okay, pretty spicy stuff. Arm changes. Cube Watch, less defense. I support this change. Kind of like mithril arm, but like attack speed version. It was pretty good, honestly. 27 defense was a lot before, so this nerf's pretty significant for how easy it is to make an early cube watch. Leg changes, Healy, less movement speed, which is also a change I really support, because honestly I'm pretty sick of people getting like archery spawn is almost too good because of the fact that you get like basically half-built shoes just from spawning there, and they're pretty good shoes too. Like you get those greens and they're not bad at all. Schwery's saying meteorite items are nerfed across the board because it'd be easier to get meteorite now. It's true, yeah, that is actually very true. Yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense, because we were talking about what was it, like Magic Stick and Evening Star both got nerfed, and they were very consistent to make after the meteor, like the neutral meteor change happened. Also, Cubewatch just got nerfed. Wonderful Tonight just got nerfed. Yeah, you're totally right about that, actually. Now that you mention it, there's some other stuff too. Star Steel Twin Swords got nerfed. Cosmic Fighting got nerfed. Yeah, you're actually good astute observation, because that honestly slipped by me. Good observation. Leg changes. We already talked about Healy's. Maverick Runners, big old nerfs going from 10 attack speed down to 5%. Dude, it's almost like not a pair of shoes with attack speed. Do you guys remember at one point, fun little history lesson, Maverick Runners at one point got giga buffed all the way up to 30% attack speed? Remember that? That was fun. And by fun, I mean it was really broken and it got nerfed immediately. Straight Jacket Sneakers. The SP regen is being nerfed. I'm very upset with this, but this is fine. Straight Jacket Sneakers SP regen going from 0.7 down to 0.5. Remember, it still has the percent regen as well, though, so it's not just losing. Like, that's not like the only SP regen it had to begin with. Accessory fan going from 8 down to 6 flat amps, so you can't just slap on a white fan and have it do crazy damage still. This has been getting nerfed more and more over time. It used to be at 14, it's down to 6 now. Pretty significant nerfs over time. Gilded Quill Fan going from 10 down to 7 as well. Doll going from 100% SP regen down to 80%. Moonlight Pendant going, or gaining 1 vision range. Interesting. Pretty interesting. Lunar Embrace. 3 less defense, because this thing was honestly pretty overstated for tanky characters. An Emerald Tablet is gaining 2, what is this? 2 attack power and defense. Pretty interesting, because honestly, I don't think anyone really built this thing. I don't think Emerald Tablet was bad before, but most people wanted to spend their force cores on weapons, spend it on remote mines. They were not spending it on Emerald Tablet, so I think it's pretty underwhelming in general. Trap changes, double guillotine losing 20 true damage. Pretty big nerf. Area changes. I'm not going to read all of these, but there are more boxes in these zones. So Alley has a new box below the gas station. So on the street below the gas station, Archery Range has a big box near the top spawn point. So thank God that spawn does not suck as much anymore, because you have a nice big box to loot. Temple, the big box added next to the spawn point below the gate. Wait. Big box added to the spawn point below the main gate. Oh, okay, so it's by the vending machine, I think, like the southern vending machine, maybe. Hotel, small box added next to the left entrance to the swimming pool, so near the swimming pool, by the beach entrance. Hospital, big box added to the right wall of the hospital. Is that like behind the counter?
That's the cars.
By the cars? Okay, so it's near the cars. School, big box added next to the upper left entrance of the gym. Small box added to the main hallway of the school building. So 2 new boxes for school. So we're seeing more items being added to these zones in general. Thank you. I am a big fan of this. I've been saying this almost every patch. I am a broken record at this point. I fully support just adding more materials to every zone, because I like the game being determined by your fights with other players and not whether or not your items got griefed and you couldn't get what you needed, because that's not fun. Anyways, spawn point adjustments, blah 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 blah, doesn't matter. Bug fixes. I'm not going to go over all of these, but there's a few I want to talk about that are really standing out to me. 1, you can no longer loot boxes over walls. Now this is going to nerf a lot of spawn points. It's also going to change a lot about the game. There's a few boxes that you are all taking for granted that you probably don't realize you always loot over walls. There's one in particular in Factory, and I'm wondering if anyone knows which one I'm talking about. Yeah? Anyone know? Which Factory box do you always loot over that wall? Because there is one that I've never seen someone actually loot the normal way. In the room no one goes in. Exactly Wolfbite, exactly 10x Creature Zero, exactly Crinit, exactly the Hidden Note. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. That one, like, server panel or whatever in the tiny little room in the bottom right of factory. No one in my entire life, I've never in my entire life seen anybody actually loot that thing properly. Everyone's always looted it over the tiny wall that is right next to it. So yes, that is going to be really weird for looting that side of factory now. You're actually going to go into that room that no one ever went into to begin with to have to loot that container. Good hiding spot because no one cares about it. Yeah, honestly, true. Yeah. Another one that's really significant is the dumpster next to the teleporter and avenue. I don't think I've ever looted that thing normally when I'm actually looting that zone. Also, there's a spawn in archery. When you spawn by the porta potty on the left side of archery, those like the like locker plus the little archery thing next to it, I always loot that over the wall, which made that spawn not suck. But now that spawn does suck because you don't get to loot those necessarily. So yeah. One more big change I want to talk about is boxes will no longer have duplicate items, so they potentially fixed that. And also, Wild Dog skill changed from bleeding to healing reduction. Woo! Big change right there. Big change right there. Yes, it is a Toho remix. It's a good song. So, fuck these dogs. I was so sick of them bleeding. I wish it didn't exist in the game to begin with. And after over a year of me being annoyed by these stupid dogs making me bleed, they are no longer making me bleed. And it's just healing reduction, so thank God. No more healing, or no more like, I can't, you know, pick up the leather and then craft my stupid green pistol or something. Like, oh my God, dude, I was so sick of that. So that is changed as well. Just good change, good change. There's a bunch of other stuff too, but... Is there anything else interesting in here? Pond bears eating the leaves off the trees near them. Oh, so there's less leaves near the trees? Near the pond bears. Huh. We reduced the frequency of wild dogs barking when players are around. Yeah. Dude, this is the best dog patch of all time. These are such good changes to dogs because I was so sick of this as well. Like constantly happening. Oh my God, I was so sick of it. What else? What else? You can now see pings and marks on CCTV. Weapons now load. And swapping to others with the same amount of ammo. That's cool. So yeah, anyway, good changes. Good changes all around. Time to wrap things up. A lot of just bug fixes, some other stuff. You guys can read them all if you want, but I'm not going to go too deep into this one. But yeah, that is going to be the conclusion of this patch notes discussion. That being said, guys, I'm actually not going to be ending my stream. I normally like do these patch notes and then end my stream, but I'm going to do an actual stream after this for just at least a little bit. So yeah, that's it for the patch notes. Oh, Eternal Return guys on YouTube. Yo, what's up, man? Wait, there's a secret Kiara buff in the weapon slash character improvements? What is it? Is it... Oh, the health increase when actually is not affected by healing reduction? That is actually pretty huge. Yeah, that is actually pretty huge. I'll be right back real quick and then we can go into some actual games. Okay, I'm back. What's up? Man, I think I had this already played. I'm gonna go next. Okay. Dude, what? Okay, I complain about this every time I have to use the fucking YouTube shuffle feature. It actually sucks. Like, it just plays the same like 10 songs over and over on a playlist with 300 songs on it. Like, I don't. Ongo 3 kills at like 5 minutes. That like just doesn't happen. Like, are you okay? Is your build going to alley third? Is that what's going on? Just stay out of alley. That's like an issue with alley being super dangerous right now. I'm low tier, I'll be honest. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, we're gonna switch back to BSER or